around us, the air we breathe, the water we drink, everything we touch, and all of that. How about mental health? People may not be able to specifically define that. How do you define mental health?
Mental health is an aspect of our health that deals with the way we feel, the way we think, and the way we behave. Now, when the way we think, behave, or feel is becoming abnormal, then we can say somebody have a poor mental health. But if the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you behave is normal, then we can say that a person have good mental health. So, but so many factors could bring about poor mental health, especially in the season we find ourselves.
All right, then. Let's now bring in COVID-19. We have settled that part, the mental health and our environment. COVID-19, how do we link this up in the first place? Our environment and our mental health. Let's start with environment first. How do we link it up with COVID-19, the pandemic?
Uh, Basically, I think let me take a practical example. Yesterday there was heat, and you want to just make sure that you relieve yourself. Or maybe somebody also is feeling bored in the house, and he or she may want to do something to relieve himself. So, in the process of these things that are going on around us in our environment, lockdown, and all that, there's possibility for us to develop a behavior that is not there before. For example, if you are getting agitated, that money is running down in your pocket, you may begin to feel aggressive, and that aggression can affect so many things around you. And at the same time, in a way to calm down that aggression, you are going to use something to calm yourself down, maybe like alcohol, like cigarettes, and all the likes. So if you look at so many things that is happening, I started with heat or
Yes.
maybe cold.
Mm-hmm.
You are indoor, but let's say you are going to work, you'd have been able to at least exercise yourself and do
A
some
little,
other stuff.
yes,
Or
that's
maybe in
right.
your office there's AC, but there's no electricity in your
At
house,
home.
and everywhere is somehow. And in the process, you are agitated and you are looking for something to just calm yourself down. Then maybe in the process, you just want to do something to calm yourself down. And in the process of doing that, you go into another problem again, like drug abuse or addiction. And that also can generate, you can see that it's a vicious cycle. That can generate another problem affecting the family. There could be domestic violence and all that.
That's a good one. Your expansion there says a lot about how you can relate COVID-19 pandemic and mental health. Then I want to ask: are we saying that COVID-19 as it relates to our environment is just in the negative? Are you saying there's no positive? There's nothing positive about COVID-19 happening at this time.
Uh, there are a lot of positive things, although some people may not agree with that.
Mm.
Now, there are families that maybe they've not seen themselves together for almost 1 year. But COVID-19 has brought husband and wife together, the children are together, they're able to nurture them. That's positive. Everything works together for good. And one way or the other, also, there are some people that they can't calm down. They're always stressed, they're always agitated, from jumping from here to here, there. And but this time around now, you are told you calm down. Some people high blood pressure is always increasing, but this season everything is okay, and you can see the positive aspect. Okay, and at the same time, uh, you are able to eat. Some just eat junks, this phones, this and that there. But here you can cook in your house and eat your food. However, there are also negative aspect of it. In fact, I was listening to a program yesterday that somebody was saying on the radio, I think Ekiti or somewhere, that about 57 cases of domestic abuse have been, maybe they told that NGO that a lot of things are happening in the
Happening
house.
at home now because
57
everybody is together,
together.
in the house.
So, and it's 57 cases. And you know, our culture, there are some people that they will not even report. And the woman I was speaking on that program said even those people that reported were not even the victims. They are just neighbors.
Neighbors, for
So there
instance.
could also be negative aspect. And that is not far-fetched because a husband that discovered that the money is going down, they bring up some funny attitudes, and the wife may want to react to that. In the process,
And it just snaps.
there'll be violence in the house. Also, and you have not been staying with somebody for almost 12 hours. The children are there with you. They'll be disturbing you when you want to rest. Yeah, for example, a woman, your children need your attention, your husband need your attention. And the process, the woman may be bothered, stressed, and even few messages from the husband may cause aggression and all that. So there are positive and negative aspects of this COVID-19.
All right, then if you just joined us, this is New Cruise 92.7 FM. We are situated in Ikere, Ekiti State. And the program you're tuned to at this moment is You and Your Environment. And as you know, we'll be looking at the air we breathe, anything and everything, a natural landscape, everything that has to do with our environment. And as our guest, Dr. Ajiboye, has rightly said, he has been talking about how COVID-19 can have maybe some negative and some positive sides to it. I know everybody may just want to think it's all negative. Hey, we cannot do our businesses and we cannot do what we should do on a normal day. But sometimes we should think about these things you cannot do on a normal day. I think taking a break from them could help us. Just like one of the positive aspects we're looking at is just that the air, there is no much air pollution at this time. Do you agree?
Exactly. Because the vehicles, when I was coming, even though there's some stoppage on the way, I discovered that few vehicles on the road. The atmosphere was clean and clear. And but however, that cannot continue. But I think we can see some positive aspects of this COVID-19. The environment is okay, no much pollution and all that.
Okay, now I wanted to give maybe one or two examples about the mental health, particularly. It might not just be the environmental,
Okay.
specific examples, for instance, maybe in the home
Yeah.
or at work or somewhere in this time of COVID-19 pandemic.
There's one that's big now, and I think the society need to really work on that. I work in the mental health aspect of an hospital, and any type of addiction is not good, or any type of drug abuse. Now, if you remember that,
Oh, hold on. Sorry to cut you short there. Have you recorded cases at the hospital? Probably people have come in reporting cases of addiction and so on.
you know, when you start taking alcohol, because what I want to mention is alcohol, immediate, unless if there's intoxication, you may not see the aftermath effect. But when you start, especially the one they call spirit, gin, which in our language, ogogoro, when you take that, initially you'll be enjoying it because there's a portion in your brain called dopamine will be giving you some reward system that, oh, that is wonderful. There's something you were not able to do before, but when you took that gene, you are able to do it. And something will tell you, your brain will tell you that go and take it again. And in the process, there'll be addiction. So even during COVID-19, something has developed. After COVID-19, then you continue to nurse the problem. And it will not just affect the brain, it will affect the brain and affect the organs of the body. In fact, it has been researched that alcohol destroy one from head to toe. It can
Interesting.
destroy your brain, can affect your memory, can lead to stroke, it can lead to mental problem, hallucination.
Alcohol?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. It can affect your liver, it can affect your heart, it can affect your intestine, it can affect your bones. You can discover that all these things, though we are trying to use alcohol to solve a problem. And why people are thinking of that is because they say they use alcohol to prepare sanitizers. And sanitizer, you use it externally. you are not asked to drink it.
Drink.
So, but people now say, okay, if you say the sanitizer contains 75% of alcohol, then that suggests if I take Kokogoro, I'll be able to kill the virus somewhere in my system. But that's a misconception. And I've seen physically in our environment here that people now, because they are not going to work, they have to sit in a particular place and begin to drink and begin to drink and begin to drink. They may not want to be addicted. All these substances are called psychoactive substances. They begin to operate on the brain, and even when you don't want to take it again, now you are now hooked down. The substances have hijacked the brain, and at that particular time, you are not in control. You are not the one taking the alcohol again. It's the alcohol that is taking that individual. So one should not use problem to solve problem. We know that it's COVID-19, but we should be able to solve this COVID-19 issue from a positive angle, not negative.
All right, You and Your Environment is still the program, and I have with me Dr. Ajiboye. He's our guest today, and we're looking at sustaining our environment and mental health during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. We're not yet looking at the area where COVID-19 will end for now, but we're still looking at during the era of COVID-19, which is what is tenable now at this point. All right, if you have questions, you want to ask a doctor something bothering you or something you've listened to this evening, you can put your calls through to 0816 781 4132. 0816 781 4132 or 0810 358 5191. And you could just win yourself something on the program. Yeah, that's part of the package that we have for you, dear listeners. So if you listen, you tune in, and you answer our questions right, well, good. You might win yourself something. So while we expect our callers, let's quickly go to the other part of the topic for today. After COVID-19.
Okay.
I've been trying to think about it because all these things that we can say are positive at this time, won't it eventually turn out negative? Because now we're happy that, okay, we've made some remarkable changes when it comes to air, or like families are together now, and we know whatever happens at home is what you extend to the environment. Is that right? So are you saying after this, we won't go back to what it was before?
Um, Let me look at it from the mental health perspective.
All right.
That's what we call post-traumatic stress disorder.
Mm.
Now, when you hear about mortality of COVID-19, there's fear. When you hear about the morbidity that is disease of COVID-19, there's fear. And as a result of all these, there's economic shutdown. Also, there's fear. And as a result of somebody that is maybe diagnosed to have COVID-19, put in a social isolation, also there's fear and there's stigma. Now, the person may not manifest the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder now, but after the whole thing has subsided, we begin to see some symptoms manifesting. The person begin to have a flash of the episode of maybe the experiences during COVID-19, and the person may not be able to sleep again. The person may be becoming agitated unnecessarily, okay? And at the same time, that's what we call OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, which is happening to everybody. Sometimes when I leave this bed, the first thing I'll be thinking about is my sanitizer, okay?
It's now in the subconscious.
It's now in the subconscious, and it's an anxiety disorder. So we were even discussing in the department that after this COVID-19, there could be a lot of anxiety disorder. What I've just mentioned, post-traumatic stress disorder is an anxiety disorder. OCD is an anxiety disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Now you are obsessed with a thought, and that thought made you to do something. Now I'm obsessed that there's COVID-19 in the environment. Then anywhere I go with my sanitizer. Then I make sure I sanitize my hand. And even when there's no problem, I make sure I sanitize my hand. So after COVID-19, we may begin to see some attitudes, some behaviors that are somehow repetitive unnecessary. Although sometimes we can cope with it, but I pray it will not lead to another thing. You know, uh, God will help us.
Okay, don't be surprised about what he just said. He's a pastor too, so I know he will want to bring in one or two prayers to support whatever claims he's making on this program today. All right, then, let's take this call. Oh, no. All right, we missed that call. Please, you can still call in 0816 781 4132. 0810 358 5191. Hello.
Hello,
Good evening.
yeah, my name is Otaya from Ikere.
All right, Odunayo, please go ahead with your question. Hello, Odunayo, you there?
Hello?
Yes,
I think
please.
the question I want to ask is that can we use this ISA to clean our table and floor? Is it good for this coronavirus?
Okay, he's
And the
asking.
toilet for us, the toilet to use for bath, is it good?
I didn't get that second question.
I mean, the toilet.
Okay. As much as we may not want
Yeah.
to do publicity for some companies, we just have to mention something. So he's saying Izal and
Yeah.
Dettol, are they good at this time to probably clean or sanitize our environment?
Even before COVID-19, we have been using all these disinfectants to clean our tables, floor, and all that. We can use them.
Okay, then. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
This is Mr. Fakule Brent from Ekiti.
Mr. Fakule, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, what to greet our doctor.
All right.
We have gained lots of things through their teaching today.
Okay.
So we really appreciate you. God bless you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Fakule. Okay, we're almost out of time because we started quite late. But please pardon us, like we said earlier. We'll talk more about this and other topics next time. I hope you will avail us the opportunity to come back here next week to discuss this and other issues surrounding our mental health. Glad to have you, Dr. Ajiboye. Thank you for coming.
It's a pair.
All right, then. And we would like to present you this gift. Okay, this gift is to say thank you for coming on the program. And we hope that next week we'll even do something bigger.
Thank you very much.
All right, then. Thank you very much. That will be the size of the program for today. We sincerely apologize. We could not take more calls and we could not even talk and say much that we have planned to. But do join us again on Thursday, that's next week at 5 o'clock for another interesting episode of You and Your Environment. My name is Bukola Fortune-Omosola. You are your environment. Stay healthy.